I like testing out new products in as close to real world circumstances as I can. Um, Had an opportunity here. This is some counter flashing between an expansion joint and some base flashing. It's copper and it's soldered together. And the lap joints, the solder broke in most of them, and there's a good bit of it. So I figured it would be a good opportunity to test out some products head to head. These were all applied in June of 2021, and it is Halloween 2023, so almost 2.5 years. The first one here we have is ChemLink Duralink. This is what I like to consider a pretty good product. Overall, I mean, it's still squishy. It's mostly adhered, but the edges have dried out and started to deteriorate. And I'm kind of surprised and a little disappointed. Copper is a little tricky to stick to with the oxide layer, and it gets hot. And I don't know if that's what's hurting it, but I mean, overall, it hasn't broken from movement, but it's just kind of dried out. And you can see that we put polyester reinforcing tape in. So that's a little weird. And here it's certainly dried out. The next product is ChemLink Metal Link, which is a silicone. It's a good silicone. It's not the acid oxy bathtub junk you buy at Home Depot. It's a neutral cure. Still nice and soft, not dried out or broken down. And that is not surprising that it's held up well, because I mean, it is made for metal and it can handle higher temperatures. I mean, today it's chilly out, and yeah, the copper's definitely warm. But so, not super surprised. The Metal Link, I mean, it has good flexibility when it's new, and it seems to have held up. So that's good. That's kind of what I would expect. This is Seamer Mate, which is what is sold for inside your gutters, your seams inside your gutters. It has cracked a little bit. Seamer Mate definitely gets hard. We knew that. It's peeling a little bit at the edges. And I don't know if you can see, but it's got a lot of surface cracks to it, and that big crack, which is not good. And again, I don't know if it's the temperature, because Seamer Mate generally seems to be a pretty good product. This is the real disappointment. This is Uniflex One Flash. Comes from Sherwin-Williams. Comes in a bucket. It's really nice to apply. It goes on smooth. It just seemed like a good product, but it just really failed. And it's just like it's dried out. And that's surprising and disappointing. And I don't know why. Because we've used it elsewhere. I'm going to have to go back and look at other places we've used it. I mean, it's a fairly new to us product, but I've never seen it fail this bad before. You can see here's some old EPDM that the lap seal deteriorated, but that's kind of par for the course. But anyway, yeah, that's a real bummer. And here's another section of the Uniflex One Flash. Just dried out and got brittle. Where it feels solid, or where it is solid, it's still got some flex to it. Little crack there too. So I don't know. That's interesting. This is Mulehide Liquid Flash. No D. It's very similar to the One Flash in terms of application, except this is a little bit runnier. There were strings all over the place where it just kind of makes a mess. And this was all covered in it, and it's just dried up, and you can see the edges are starting to crack and dry up. I'll have to check on what it can take temperature-wise, and I mean, maybe these products are just getting cooked. Like I said, I know copper is a little bit weird, but you know, and see that that's still gooey inside. I don't know. We didn't like this quite as much as the one flash. Just it's a little messier for application, but it seems to have held up a little bit better, unless you're talking about this area where it's gone. And here's another section of it. Again, the edges are coming up. This is GacoPatch, which looks beautiful. I kind of figured GacoPatch was going to win this. It's a really expensive product, but it's a reinforced silicone. It's got a good bit of flex to it, and it's not lifting up at all. So what we're going to do is go over the failed sections, the other products with GacoPatch. But here's some more GacoPatch. That's not surprising that it's doing well. We've been using it a little bit longer, and this is surprising just for the heck of it. I did one of Volcom 116, which is polyurethane caulk, which is a good product. This is kind of out of its it's not the ideal product for this kind of situation. It'll stick great to masonry. That's really what it excels at. Sometimes it has a little trouble sticking to metal. It has stuck surprisingly well, and the sun has not eaten it up too bad. You can see there are some cracks starting to form from the UV, and we know that it does so much better when it's out of the sun. It's just really, really shocking that it's held up this well compared to the Liquiflash and the one flash that did not. And then more GacoPatch, just because we had it. And the only product I wish I had included in here, and I did not have an open can at the time, was Firestone. What do they call it? What is their one part flashing? Is it one flash? No. Ultra Flash. Yeah, I didn't have any of that to try out. But as we expected, GacoPatch is definitely the winner. Really bummed about the Mulehide and the one flash being losers. I have to try them somewhere else and see if maybe it's just the copper's weird. But there you go. So GacoPatch is worth the extra couple of bucks for sure. That's a good thing because we use GacoPatch everywhere. More GacoPatch. Pretty sure the rust is dripping down onto it, not coming through. If it was coming through, you'd be able to tell. More GacoPatch. Yep.